I'm
all this
still
work.
coming into my own. And, as you watch this season, I feel like the only thing I would say is that I really shared a lot more about like my insecurities, me growing up, and like a lot of it didn't make it to show kind of like more about who I am. And I think that was like the one thing I kind of like was like I wish they showed more of that because I really did struggle hard with just being bullied growing up. But I think that online and my online presence, it shows a really confident version of myself. But I think the show shows like only the really confident version, and it doesn't show the things I struggle with about like my insecurities that I still deal with, and like my skin and my body and my weight and like the things that um the bullies really like tapped into me like during my whole youth. So as I'm going, I'm still trying to like grow up. But I think the show honestly gave me so much confidence for some reason. And I don't know why, but being able to watch myself on TV, like the first scene of the first episode, my skin looked so bad and I was in bad lighting. And I think a year ago, even, I would not have been able to see that. But I think just going through the filming process and being on a reality show in general and being with six gay guys, and I think it really helped my self-esteem for some reason. It's weird, but I just feel kind of like the most confident, best version of myself coming out of the show, whether like people are hating it or loving it or all the drama that surrounded it. No matter what, I'm like, I'm proud of myself for doing it, but I also just feel like the best version of Joey.
Right. You're just like, okay, I don't think, first of all, you're the only one that noticed, I guarantee you, that your skin wasn't perfect in whatever scene that was. But
Well, that's not true because I got a lot of DMs, but like even those DMs, the hate, I think it would have bothered me a lot more a year ago. And I've really worked through that. And I'm still working through it, but those comments just don't bother me anymore. I just want people to love the show and love all my friends on the show and just like, give it the chance it deserves.
well, you are a social media influencer, which we also learned from this show. I mean, do you go down that rabbit hole online of the comments? I mean, I was bullied horribly in high school too, and now it's like nothing could bother me really. I mean, it takes a minute to get there, but it's like, oh, honey, I've had it much worse than this. Trust me.
Of course, I go down the rabbit hole. I mean, I can't lie about that. I think I do it much less. When the show first came out, I'll be honest, I did it much more because I was like just wanting to see like the reaction. And I was like, okay, maybe this isn't like healthy. So I still do it, but not nearly as much as I was in the beginning of the season. Um, because just of all the drama surrounding it. But now it's gotten so much better. So it's like a very positive experience to look at all the comments.
Or you think people are shocked to find out that you have these insecurities? Because yes, on your social media, you tell people they're hot as fuck, that today is all about them, that they're great and wonderful. So yes, I mean, you do give these uplifting messages on your social, which is great.
Which, like, those messages come from the things that I have to tell myself every day to try and just get my own confidence going in the morning because we all have shitty days and need that little, like, boost. But yeah, I mean, I did a lot of that on the show and none of that was shown. But I mean, I think that people are surprised to see me kind of just wearing my emotions on my sleeve, which is very much Joey. Like, cameras or no cameras, the night of the engagement party, that would have very much still happened, whether they're not a bit. And I think people were like, you're so dramatic. And I'm like, I am a dramatic human being in real life. Same with the James stuff and me and him getting into it. I just like am a no bullshit person. And sometimes my timing's off. But like, I'm sorry, but like I don't have any kind of like patience for bullshit. And I don't like when people aren't being real. And James and Dorian weren't real the whole time, and it was like it was fake, and I hated that. And I'm not afraid to like dive into that. Like, I don't care because that was the most annoying thing, and I'm proud of myself for calling the right people out.
Who do you think was being more fake between those two?
James,
Why?
because I think that he went on the show to promote his business, and he went on the show to promote his cruise line. And I don't think he went on the show to get to know people. And I think that instead of trying to open up to us, which can be hard for people, and I get that, he tried to just kind of like retract and not tell us anything. But by doing that, he tried to make himself be superior and try and act like he was better. And I think I saw right through that because I'm like, I have a sixth sense. I can see right through people. And like, my biggest issue was him trying to fake that he really gave a shit about me as a person. Because if the cameras weren't there, like I would be snubbed. And I knew that. Like, and that kind of started to get annoying because it's like, oh my God, I feel so bad. Like, let me take care of you. Let me take care of you. Let me be your. I'm like, you don't give a fuck, you know. And you saw that at his wigs and wine party when he was kind of like, oh, like you guys are just my castmates. Like everybody else on the cast was really starting to like love each other at that point, and that's why it got annoying because like me, Brad, Todrick, Curtis, or Cedric as you want to call him, we were like so getting like this by that point. So I was just like, fuck this. Like I can't stand this person, and I didn't want him to. It wasn't fair to us, you know, in a way.
Yes. I mean, why do you think? Because, he accused you at that dinner of the exact opposite, that you were the most fake, that you came, you were trying to be the villain of the show. Let me have my breakout moment. So we're all talking about you around the water cooler, like, right?
Exactly. And that's why I was like, no. And like, you know, that was, you have to realize it's reality TV. We were at that dinner for like hours. Like, so much stuff happened. I think they cut it. I think the way that they showed everything that needed to be shown, I think. But like, it got frustrating. And I am one person that I'm working on this. But like, one of the biggest things I learned in the show is like, sometimes, Joey, like, you need to shut the fuck up because I just keep going, 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 and we get nowhere. But I'm passionate. And like, I think he just, kept trying to like talk down and make me look, you know, and when I started to call him out and it started to get real, he started just to kind of like ignore because that was his defense mechanism. But it got so frustrating. Like, and you know, it's also really frustrating that he hasn't promoted the show once. And why go on a TV show and not promote it? And it makes me like, it says a lot.
Right. It's like you were just here as a walking billboard for your business, so to speak.
Yeah. So I think people see that, and I'm just like, and it's a shitty thing to do for the whole cast who worked really hard, who are promoting the show, who are proud of the show. Like, what does that make us look like? Even Dorian started to like post little things here and there about the show, even if it's not the most positive thing. It's like whatever. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, and it does piss. It just, it's like for what?
Why do you think Dorian even came on the show? I mean, he told us all season, like, I don't share. I mean, that scene with him and his sister in the kitchen, like in the last episode, like, I don't share things. I don't want to talk about like sex. I don't want to talk about whatever.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he needed some cash, or maybe he needed like I don't know what his deal was, but I don't know why he would go on a show and think like, oh, this is my show and I can control the narrative. Because at the end of the day, like we were all just very much being ourselves, and if you're uncomfortable being around a group of people and you're this have this much social anxiety, it's not like that was a secret when we signed up for the show. Like you knew you were going to be hanging out with six guys being